This past weekend, over 100 developers gathered at Holiday's Boston headquarters for our first ever TVnext hack in partnership with Mashery. The hackathon featured APIs from a dozen leading television tech companies, including platinum sponsors ESPN, Vigil, WatchWith, The Echo Nest, and Ramp. Each presented their APIs on Saturday morning as possible ingredients to eager software engineers looking to cook up the next big TV app. Development teams coded all day Saturday and into Sunday afternoon when 7 judges chose a winner for the 5 TVnext hack categories. Now it's down to 5 finalists, and your votes decide which app is named TVnext Best in Show, taking home $2,500. And here are your judges. From USA Network, Jesse Redness. VH1, Dave Perry. And from MIT, Marie-Jose Montpetit.
Simon. Here you go. So you saw the overview of what happened this past weekend, and we're super excited about the fact that 4 of the winning category members are here with us today. So here's what's going to go down. You saw the fact that there are 5 categories from our hack. Each category winner, we're going to show a demo video that they did yesterday. It's about 1 to 2 minutes long. We're going to have, if the person is here, if the developer's here, we're going to have them stand over in the speaking area while they are critiqued by our esteemed panel of American Idol-style judges. Jesse already said that he will be playing the role of Simon Cowell.
Unanimously.
Yeah, it's all good.
After all of the demos are done, and there's 5 of them, then we're going to turn it over to you guys. So be sure to have your smartphone ready. Be sure to have Twitter open. And you'll see some hashtags as we go through. Make a note of the hashtag that you want to win $2,500, because you will be deciding, both the people in this room and the people following along on the back channel. So guys, very quickly, I just want to get one sentence as to, Jesse, we'll start with you, aka Simon. What are you hoping to see from these developers today?
I'm looking for something really new and original. So nothing that's really derivative from the things that are already out there. Something that's going to drive both a synchronous experience for live television as well as possibly something that can be used as a companion for DVR or VOD content.
Dave, what about you?
I think what makes a great TV app is low barrier of entry, and we talk a lot about what's the best angle to attack that from, and I think what I'm looking for is really great solutions that can engage the most amount of people.
Marie-Jose, you were a judge yesterday that chose the 5 category winners. What stood out in your mind from yesterday?
Actually, is how great they had done in one day. It was fantastic to see that a lot of these applications were very much representative of what a real product could be. So that was very impressive.
Excellent. Let's move on to the first category. Sync to broadcast.
Hi, my name is Jenny, and I created Tweevo, which is a Twitter plugin for Twitter users. So I love to be on Twitter as I'm watching TV shows. But what I don't like is if I'm not watching a TV show live, then my timeline is full of tweets from the celebrities of the shows that I like to watch. So I created this Twitter plugin where you type in the tags of the TV show you're watching and you hit record. When you do this, all of the tweets about the show Dance Moms that I put in are then blocked out and you can't read what they say. When you're ready to watch the show, you just hit stop and then play, and all of those tweets will come up from the show you were watching before. They'll stream down. Tweets that are made by more influential users, like the official Dance Moms handle, will be bigger and catch your eye more. I used the Clout API to find which Twitter users were more influential, and then I used that data to make more influential Twitter users have a bigger font so that they stand out more.
Let's welcome to the stage 17-year-old Jenny Lemire. Jenny, we're going to go right down the line with our judges, starting from Jesse from USA Network, and feel free to ask her questions if you'd like.
Sure, and I can't be mean to a 17-year-old.
Her dad's right over there, I think.
Beat me up.
I'm not kidding.
So, first question is, was Twitter the only platform you looked at to use this plugin on?
It was, but I can definitely see it being expanded because I know on Facebook often there's spoilers on there. So I can see this easily being used to work on almost any application.
First of all, I think it's a great idea, and I think there's a lot of incongruous behavior in terms of watching stuff live and watching stuff on DVR and how you experience that. So I think it's a really great idea. Part of what happens, what's interesting about Twitter is there's the official hashtag, the people who watch the show, but things happen organically based on the show itself. So I think something you'd have to figure out is how to ideally work with content creators to get those hashtags. Have you thought about that angle?
Yeah, I actually looked at some APIs, but I didn't have the time to integrate it that can get similar words, similar terms. So if I say, I'm looking at Dance Moms, it might come up with Abby Lee Dance Company, which is the girls' company from the show. So there are already APIs that have that data, and I just need to integrate that into it.
Marie.
First, I'd like all the women in the room to applaud. She was the only woman contestant. Second, I agree with all the comments before, so I won't repeat them. I think that you hit on something that I told you again yesterday, that in spite of, yes, this thing that watching it live is very interesting. A lot of us do not watch things live, and I think it's very interesting to have an app, although there are other players in this, but actually the idea of filtering the Twitter feed to get away from things that we don't want to learn right now is a great idea.
Thank you.
Excellent. Any other comments from you guys? Jenny, anything else from you that you want to say?
Vote for me so you can help pay for my college next year.
Very nice. Round of applause for Jenny. Can we give that to Kelsey? We're moving on to our second category.
Best use of check-in or loyalty.
Bean and I live in a house with 8 people. And I think the last time we were in a room together was January. And it was for the Game of Thrones Season 2 finale. And I think a lot of people have the same experience where they have a group that watches the same show or that watches the Celtics or their team, but they're not always watching it together. And so we wanted to create an app that didn't detract from the experience of watching something, but brought you into contact with other people and made it more rich in that way. So what do we do when we're together and we're watching Game of Thrones? We argue about the soundtrack and whether it sucks or is awesome. Spoiler, it's awesome. We place bets on like how long it's going to take for that character to die, or whether we know her from some movie somewhere. And so the app we built does exactly that. It allows somebody, while they're watching a television show, to place a bet like Kevin Durant is going to score 30 points before this game is over, or Daenerys is totally going to make it to Westeros by the time the season ends. I guarantee it. And they can wager a number of points on that. And through a API partner called Vigil, those points are actually worth real-world rewards, like gift cards or cruises. Or you can just bet like this week's dishes, which is a commodity around our house.
We basically built an app so that if it recognizes what show we're watching, it's going to take us to a dashboard that we built that has the bets for the show, has the information about the show, upcoming showings, the social stream of what users are saying about it, and then it has a little soundtrack. And the way we built that was by taking a lot of external APIs, whether it's the TMS OnConnect API or the GetGlue social stream API or Spotify's API, and combining them to create our own internal dashboard. And so our internal dashboard is actually a site that's even viewable on a desktop computer, and we can dynamically change, because we're not actually storing any of this information anywhere, what series we're looking up, and it'll go ahead and make all those calls for us and then build the dashboard. And so we wanted it to be usable not just for the shows that we like, but maybe for anyone who wanted to get some more context and start a conversation or have some bets around different shows.
Somebody's got to do the dishes.
That's right.
Welcome Dean and JP. So guys, very quickly, where are you guys from?
Jersey. And I'm originally from Illinois, but I live here in Boston.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being part of the TVnext hack, and congrats on winning this particular category. Jesse, questions, comments?
Yeah, so I realize that you guys just had a weekend to do this. But I think one of the things that we're seeing in this space is more of a drive towards visual execution and UX. And looking at the product, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of design layer on top of the framework that you've built.
Yes. So a lot of my background is in server-side development.
Yep.
And so we did all of the integration on the back end, knowing that if we had time, we could have gone ahead and touched it up and made it look really pretty and sexy looking for a nice UI, UX experience. So if we had a great designer or maybe had some more time, we could have tweaked that. But we were happy to get all the pieces connected and working together.
What you see is probably about, what, 5-10 minutes of design work? just plugging it in and it's up there. So a completed app would definitely have what you said.
Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of the group viewing because not a lot of people are looking at that. And so I think there's a way that you can amplify that even more. So if you're sitting with 2 or 3 or 4 people, how can you give them an extra incentive for actually doing that with other human beings while you're watching a show?
Dave.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting idea. I think what you guys are tapping into is the competitive kind of nature of, drinking game, really applying a drinking game concept to shows. And it's interesting with shows like Game of Thrones, which is a very sit back kind of a show where you really need to experience it and just remember everyone's name and who killed who and all that stuff. But if your point of view is to set these things up at the beginning of the show and watch how you're doing throughout the experience, kind of a sit back experience, I think that's an interesting idea. And again, as I said before, working with content creators to try to give you information in advance to make that experience richer and more relevant to the user, I think would be ideal to its success.
Marie.
I also like the idea of the group viewing, and these people can be with you and they can be somewhere else. And I have the same comment about, it has to be visually appealing because if not, people are going to really like it. But, I thought it was a good project.
Dean and JP, any final comments?
I guess, yeah, one quick response and then, thanks to everybody, is that, yeah, you're totally right. It would be awesome if this was just, really slick and up there. But, if we had more time, we probably would have done that. It was a great experience, though. We had an awesome time going through the hackathon. And then kind of to your point of having these things sitting up there, like a drinking game kind of experience, we timestamp the bets, and we get a time offset from Biggle. And so the goal would be for those things to update and refresh as you're going through the show. But just wanted to thank everyone for having us.
Yeah, definitely, thanks. And if I'm watching the show 2 days after Dean watched it, when I get to the point when he placed that bet, then that's when I see that bet. And so that kind of solves the East Coast, West Coast problem, or the watching things at different times, the asynchronous problem. Also, does anybody know the difference between Game of Thrones and Twitter?
This should be good.
In Twitter, there are only 140 characters.
Round of applause for Dean and JP. Here's our third category. Best use of stats, news, or information.
Hi, I'm Kyle. This is Marshall and Andrew, and we built Small Talker at the TVnext Hackathon this weekend. Here it is. Small Talker is a mobile app designed for people who don't know anything about sports. Basically, we all love going to sporting events and hanging out with our friends when they're watching a football game or a basketball game. But we're not up to date on any of the news. We really don't know what's going on. We're totally checked out. So we built Small Talker to help that experience and to help us kind of stay up to date and be able to have, some talking points with our friends to kind of seem like we know what's up.
So here we have the interface, and this is basically watching a game from Friday night. And you can go see this at smalltalker.nojitsu.com. And basically what it does is it starts looking at players and terms that come up during the game, and it finds relevant content for the player and adds to the top of the stream as they come up in the game. and as terms come up that you may not be familiar with, definitions come through. And if it can't find anything on that, it just looks for recent news about the two teams. So you can go through here, and when bench comes up as a term, it'll give you a little definition in here so you know what that means, because it's like a technical basketball term. And we also did a few things where you can pull in sort of basic player stats, and just so you can actually find them when you're watching the game. You can click through to the player and get sort of a basic information, their jersey number, their height and weight, and their cloud score, so you can see how influential they are on Twitter.
And then we also pull in relevant news articles, headlines, stuff about players as they're making plays on the screen. And then you can pull up and, say to your friend, oh, did you know that Ray Allen blah, blah, blah yesterday? And so you seem like you're totally on top of your stuff. And that's Small Talker.
Blah, blah, blah. Is Kyle here? Awesome. Kyle, come on up. Kyle Nicholas Schmoltzy? Is that your... Wow. You got 3 names.
Hello.
You're on. Jesse.
Dude, I give you props for wearing shorts.
Yeah. At least he has shoes on.
He's got shoes on, too. I think it's a really interesting idea because it brings as you say, a low barrier to entry, an easy, digestible way to enter into a kind of a huge marketplace that a lot of people are afraid to get into, and doing it in a way that could be really beneficial. So I don't want to say it's like Twitter with training wheels or Facebook with training wheels, but in some ways it kind of is. I think it's interesting and could definitely go beyond just sports. Why'd you guys pick sports? Just because that's something that...
Well, basically, we needed something to target, and the ESPN APIs that were made available to us were awesome and had just a wealth of information and live information. And, we considered for a while while we were brainstorming, maybe we should, make a cool stats tracker, blah, blah, blah. And then we realized none of us really care about advanced stats. We don't really know what's even going on in the game. Let's just build something that everyone can use so that they can, not be as intimidated at having to watch their first basketball game with their father-in-law or something like that.
Dave.
I also think it's a great idea beyond even sports, and in taking a cue from Sumley and kind of things like that, which is digesting to the bare essence of what the news story is, just enough to sound knowledgeable to your friends.
Right.
And I actually, as a marketing strategy, I really like that point of view of kind of that kind of tongue-in-cheek about it's a fast-paced world. We need to get beefed up on information to seem in the know.
Yeah.
I really think it's a really smart idea, kind of like the Cliff Notes of pop culture. And I think it's a great place to start with sports, but I think it's got a lot of legs in other areas.
Definitely. And hopefully we'll have time to continue working on that. We obviously, worked on it as a weekend project, and we're very happy with what we were able to complete, but we're considering also entering into another competition, which is next June, from one of the sponsors, the Vigil competition. So if we do that, then we'll have plenty of time to really expand it out and apply to more than just sports.
Jose.
Okay, so I think you guys really nailed on what my comments were, and what I still think is that I thought it was great, even for an event like this. Like, you come here and people ask you, oh, I'm here and it's Hill Holliday, do you know that person? No. But you could have Small Talker and tell you, yes, and this, oh, I've known this person for such a long time, and you have all the stats and what's from LinkedIn and whatever. So I thought it was a great thing to basically make people like me look less stupid.
Great. That's exactly what we're trying to do. Thanks so much.
Kyle, by the way, where are you from?
I'm from just outside of Boston. I grew up in Newton.
Excellent. Any other final comments?
I guess just thanks. This has been an awesome experience. We had a great time. The workspace was beautiful. We had an awesome weekend. So thanks to you guys. Thanks to Hill Holiday. Thanks to everyone who put this together. Our good friend Cass.
Just because I want to say it one more time, Kyle Nicholas Schmoltzy. Round of applause.
Best use of music or video.
TV Time is the name of the app, and the reason I built the app is because he watches a lot of TV, and a lot means a lot, like hours and hours of TV. And I come back from work and I ask him, and the first question he'll ask me when I enter the door is, Dad, can I watch TV? And I'll say, well, if you finish your homework, and he'll say, yeah, I finished my homework in after school. So then as a parent, you're like, okay, but you really feel like, you know what, read a book for some time and then watch TV. So here's the app that solves that problem. So I open the app, and at this point, he picks a show that he wants to watch. It makes use of the TMS API to get a list of the programs that are broadcasting. We use a DirecTV at home, and then it gets a list of the shows which are playing right now. Let me select a show, and I have to earn 3 points to watch the show. So at that point, he then goes and he earns his TV time. There you go. That's one right.
Show them what does it when it's wrong.
Go ahead and do it when it's wrong. There you go. Guess, which is very important for him, because if you give him something, he'll start to guess everything. So if he guess, it'll deduct a point. So that makes sure that he can guess, and if he gets it right, you hear the ding. That's an easy question. 1 plus 1. That shouldn't even be there.
That's 1 plus 2.
Oh, okay. Okay, and as soon as he earns his TV time, the show that he wants to watch is now available for him to watch. And some other features of the app are, if you want to look at the history of the questions and the shows that he's watched, there's a button whereby you can go and you can look at the history, and there's the wrong one that you purposely did. And then if you want to put your own questions in the app, you can go ahead, click on this, and you can make up your own question. That's our app, which is TV Time.
Please welcome Praveen Aravan Muddam and his son. Praveen, how old is your son? 8. And did you take part in any of the coding? No. You're just the fun.
Testing.
You're just getting some votes for your dad, aren't you? Praveen, where are you from?
Medford.
Oh, excellent. Right up the street. Jesse.
All right. I think it's awesome that your focus was basically on educating your son more than just giving him content. And an easy way to get the content. I've got 2 little boys at home. My 3-year-old is doing the exact same thing. Can I watch your show? Can I watch your show? And figuring out ways that we can take the passion points of the kids and their intention and turning it into an educational kind of vehicle, I think, is paramount to how media can play a role in where we move as a society. So I think that your approach here was amazing. And I think what you were able to develop in such a short period of time was great, and hopefully it kept the attention span longer than your son did. And your T-shirt is absolutely awesome. So congrats. I really love the idea.
Thank you.
Dave.
Thank you.
Just for clarity's sake, how would you, in like 1 or 2 sentences, describe what you think the basic feature of the app would be?
The basic feature of the app is to have math questions or English questions or his homework at school or anything at all. And you finish the homework, and you earn the points to watch TV. Because like I said in the intro, he watches a lot of TV. And I come home from my job. I want to watch a Red Sox game, and he's there watching TV, and it's the cartoons.
It's very selfish. This app is really just to get your kid off the TV.
Right. It's for the kids too, and you can watch the app you can watch the TV on the app itself as well. So it frees up the TV for other people. And it also helps. It's an incentive. And we experimented with like no TV in the weekdays and only on the weekend. But it's not fair because Skylander, the new episode comes every Wednesday evening. So it's not fair for the kid too to be able to watch only on the weekend and not to watch on the weekdays. So.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I also have a young son, and the first thing as soon as he wakes up in the morning is like, can I watch the show?
Exactly.
And trying to find something else for him to engage and feel better as a parent that you don't just stick him in front of a TV, which is good for me. I think it's a really good idea, and I think there's probably a lot of apps out there that are trying to blend entertainment with education and stuff like that. So I think that's a very kids know how to use. I learned features on the iPad from my son. I'm like, how did he just do that with his 5 fingers? So I think it's a really great field to be focusing on.
Thank you.
Marie.
So I actually think the iPad is not the right platform for this application. I think it should be a connected TV app because it won't take very long. I'll give you a hint. It's not on the TV, so if you open the TV, you don't have to go through this.
Absolutely.
And it won't take, and also, so I would say it would be better as a connected TV. So when you open the TV, this pops up. And if you enter the right password, you're the parent, you can watch it. If you're you have to answer the questions. So I felt the iPad was not, also the question of getting the content and everything was probably difficult. So I would say if you want to continue this, I would look into connected TVs. This said, I thought it was a cool idea, but also knowing, I will tell you I was a bit turned off by the math thing because I think there's so much emphasis now on some kind of these math questions as, you know, I think kids need to, maybe you want to read a book chapter, you want to listen to some music. I was even thinking that some of the questions could be connected to the content that the child wants to watch in order to make it more relevant. But I thought it was a great idea, so good job.
Thank you.
Any final comments? Yeah, from your son.
Rise of the Guardians is how many points?
150.
And SpongeBob?
30.
There you go.
Aw.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you so much. Oh, Kelsey. Great. Our last category, the developers aren't here, but we're going to show the video. Best use of multiple APIs.
So our app is called Who Am I? And basically it's a charades game. We all like TV, and we all, we all like to tell quotes, and sometimes it's fun just to guess who that quote is. So what we do, for the app, we have a native app where you're gonna pick a show, and in this case we're gonna pick 30 Rock, and then we're gonna pick Tracy as the character that we're trying to imitate. And so once that's done, it's gonna start recording, and then he's going to.
Hi, I'm Tracy.
Okay, and then you'll see it. It's going to go uploaded.
Okay. Now it's
going to go onto the Vigo app, and then you would check into the 30 Rock.
Hi, I'm Tracy.
And now the user will have to pick who he thinks that person is. Of course, it's going to be Tracy Jordan, and he wins a million Vigo points.
Excellent. So I just got a text message. The developer is here. I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but we'll find out in a minute. What's your name?
Hello, I am Teddy Wing.
And where are you from?
Originally, I'm from San Francisco. I live here in Boston.
Oh, excellent. Jesse, what do you think?
Sweet scarf.
Sweet socks.
Jealous. Yeah.
Digital socks.
Yeah, pocket scarf. Competition. So I was actually having a little trouble following in that video exactly what the what was. So from my understanding, you're getting more involvement directly with somebody, a viewer, by actively uploading a video or a voice, audio, or an image into the system. Is that what it's?
Exactly. Yes. Okay. Well, the idea is that it's kind of a game based around your TV watching. So you're engaging with other fans of the shows you like. So you go in and pick a show, and you can record your impression of a particular character in the show, and other people will then watch that video and engage with you, connect with you, and be able to guess which character that is.
Got it. Okay. Cool. I think it's a really interesting concept, very niche targeted for the superfan, but the superfans are really powerful. So good job.
Thank you.
Dave.
I agree. It's an interesting idea, and I think as part of a suite of, like, say, Vigo or another platform like that, which has a lot of machinery behind it, I think it's as far as what I said before about low barrier for entry, like anything that involves some kind of creativity or thinking definitely mitigates how many people will take a part in it. But as Jesse said, those who do would really take a lot of put a lot of effort into it. And I think you could get some traction on it. But as far as having a mass scale, which is part of the criteria for this, I think you might have a little problem. But it's an really interesting idea.
Marie.
I thought it was cool in terms of the transmedia thing. If you go into the transmedia quotes from Jenkins at the beginning, it was like when stories are told outside the original media, it makes everything more interesting. And in that case, it's the viewers who become the players of the original story. So I thought for that it was very interesting, and I'd like to see where you could take that further.
Final comments?
Well, I just wanted to thank everyone. Thank you to Hill Holliday and all the sponsors. This was really an amazing hackathon, and I've been to more than a few. So thank you very much.
Excellent. Round of applause. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. When I give the word, not yet, you're going to take out your favorite mobile device and Twitter and tweet the hashtag as many times as you'd like, as many tweets as you'd like, for the one person, the one developer, the one app that you want to receive $2,500. So you will tweet TV Sync for 17-year-old Jenny, TV Loyalty for Dean and JP, TV Info for Kyle Nicholas Schmaltzy, TV Music for Praveen and his son, and TV Multi by the gentleman that was just up here. You have 60 seconds, and this is including folks here and people tuning in on our live stream. Anyone can tweet the hashtag, starting now.
I left it inside. I didn't want to be disturbed by buzzing. You gotta be impartial. Yeah.
The winner of our TVnext hack of $2,500, and I want to bring Chuck Freeman from Mastery and Cass Sapir, who helped organize this event, from Thumbs Up. Jenny, come on up and get your $2,500. Big congrats to you guys. That was awesome. Awesome. Karen, come on up. Just stand in the light.
So, first of all, I said, is this on? I don't need it. I said to Stacy Shepperton, who I'm next to, this is great. It's like Project Runway for nerds. You're not offended, right? Second of all, call me in a couple years, because you've got yourself a job at Hill Holliday.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
We are all going to be working for Jenny someday, probably soon. Do you have your driver's license? Yeah. Okay, so she can get to work. And third, is Steve Andrews, our chief financial officer, still here? Is he still in the room? Oh, good. Because we just made a snap decision, Stacy and I, that we're going to actually give each of the 5 finalists $2,500.
Wow. That was not planned. That was not planned. That is awesome.
Great job.
Nice job. Guys, thank you very, very much. This was a lot of fun.